frags just yet, but Shock finds Crew, and the Earthshatter comes in. It's massive! Paragon showing us it's his turf. White's now
and a pulse pop from Trev ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to take off. Oh goodness, here comes the Blizzard! Gonna look to get the inside.
And in the sleep though, in the nade in, and they don't even need a single ult here to win it other than Shatter. And Kavat taking out Socher there from a mile away.
Upgrade taking out Big Road. That's the long one. Oh, but
Paragon with another Shatter! That's three
Shatters! Getting done in the background. This may be possible. It could be. It really could be the boom. Oh, still here.
Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup. Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match at
Welcome to the Rose Cup. We're here in getting towards the pointy end of season 3 here. We're in for a gold division match today between Lotus and Nebula Lynx. I'm Temporal, and I'm joined by Man of Class. How are you doing, Man of Class? And what do you expect to see today from these teams?
Look, I'm doing great. I always say there's nothing when life gets you down to get a little bit of Overwatch in you. And I mean, you know, everyone needs it. Every now and then, you're just like, you know what? I need some more Overwatch. That was what I was like today. So I'm happy to step in here. I'm expecting from previous results, because these teams have actually played each other before. I'm expecting it not to be a very close match, but who knows? Because I think Nebula Lynx kind of did a pretty good job the last time, or Lotus. I actually forgot which one won. But at least the other team didn't actually get a point before the last map in that instance. So I'm not expecting a lot to change, but that being said, you know, we had a few new patch notes. There's been a little time between the match. Maybe they've upped their game a little bit. It's always possible.
Yeah, and also we're seeing some changes coming from Lotus 2 from that clash. So we'll see what those. I guess we'll see what these. Well, I'm going to assume these are improvements. So I'm watching the
you
chat.
never
So,
know.
yeah,
That might be. I mean, there might be improvements. It's also possible that some players had to step away or do something else. You know, in the meantime, sometimes you can't control what life happens, and life just happens. And you know, it might not be an improvement. And because they're new members, they might also not be as oiled in the machine that they have. So it could definitely be it could be an improvement, could not be an improvement. We don't know until we see it. All I know for sure is we're gonna start with Nepal, and it's gonna be Sanctum.
Oh yes, I like this map. Hopefully, even with the as you've sort of mentioned as well, we've seen the patch come in during the week that has changed quite a few heroes, off a lot in minor ways. But have you seen that will? Do you think that will change the meta yet or at all, or is it still too soon to tell? As teams are still figuring out these changes.
In the highest tiers of meta, you know, that's like Overwatch League, Contenders, World Cup level that we're talking about. Every single team I've talked to, seen, and like discussed it with, they all say nothing's changed. Basically, maybe you can do some little different things on the support / DPS level, but the tank meta is heavily just cemented in that case. Sure, other things have become more viable. That's more of a rank thing, but we're in gold here. Those things don't apply, so we could see a lot of different things here, and that's why I'm liking Cheshire's Cat pick going over to the Roadhog potentially. Roadhog got a buff, got an extra shot in that, and also got indirectly buffed by Sigma not being able to eat his hook anymore. So could do a lot against that. It's a good off-tank option nowadays, and especially on a map with a lot of environmental kills. I'm looking forward to it.
And to see what both teams are running out on, it looks like Nebula Lynx choosing to run what is been partly the meta quite recently, but yep, we'll see what they can do as they're able to actually take up a first position on the point. With Volbeat in the sky here, they've got nothing to counter that. They'll be interested to see what they can get done. This Pharmacy will just be raining down rockets as the point is about to unlock. Neither team really made any progress here. Just dancing around the point, waiting for the other team to make a mistake. As if point capture goes very quickly over to Nebula Lynx, but they're not able to capitalize on that. Cheshire Cat actually pulling in Phantom and getting the kill there. So Lotus getting an early advantage here. Oh, another great hook there onto Captain Sun. And Xy's able to finish off that kill. So Lotus in a really good position here, finally making their way onto the point. They have the player advantage for the moment. See if they can capitalize on that. as Phoenix just flies over with that Mercy Caduceus blast in the sky. We do see the players starting to return. Oh, that's a quick Death Blossom come out from Rufino, but it's shut down straight away, as well as Crunk. So Lotus still with the advantage here, but not able to completely clear off the members of Nebula Lynx. That means the control percentage is still continuing to build. Captain Sun here, just hiding on the point. Oh, a bit isolated there. Does get taken down. And we see all.
They're finally gonna clean it up there.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a long extended fight here. You can see that some of these things where it's not just mechanics and not just target focus. Like it's a very large combination of factors that just means these fights will last a little bit longer than you might expect them to if you watch some top level gameplay sometimes. But it's good. I mean, you see the ults coming on. They do use the ultimates in right situations, and I really like the pick still of Cheshire Cat that Roadhog is doing work for them.
Yeah, and we see they didn't actually use any ultimates in that fight. Oh, as the Coalescence comes out from Argon, Phantom will also change the cost of the Pharah here, so we will have a Pharah duel in the sky, not a Pharmacy duel, as the DPS from Nebula Lynx actually come through, pick up a couple of quick kills. Oh, the boot from Crunk onto Freckles in the middle of that Death Blossom. Lotus is able to even it up in the middle of that as well, but it looks like no, Hexaseal throwing in that Coalescence. Nah, it looks like the point has been flipped back towards Nebula Lynx, and they will continue building this control percentage. So the Pharmacy is stuck on the point. Oh, Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this fight is still not over, and this is what you're looking at, right? The cleanup just doesn't come in. The target focus isn't clean enough. There's so much back and forth because of the little mistakes that everyone's making, and there's sometimes almost lucky shots that are getting in. You do see now the numbers advantage is there. I do think they're going to flip it here. Captain Soon not in time to touch that, just jumps up the map. No, Freckles actually gets that kill even. It's and you said it before, right? The ult economy was very much in the favor of Lotus, and now you look at the other side, they have four basically. Rafino has like one shot and he's got it. So I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go this next fight, but is it any indication? Ult economy is not an indicator of who's gonna win a fight. It was a quick retake last time, but maybe not so quick this time.
Yeah, and Lotus choosing to go for a quite aggressive hold there, pushing almost all the way up to the entrance to the Sanctum here for Nebula Lynx. They do rotate around the sand barrier. Crunk uses the sand barrier just to get them onto the point. There's the graphitic flux comes through from Abe Lincoln and gets able to get 2 kills off that, even though they lose Captain Sun in the process. Abe actually takes out Cheshire Cat as well for doing heaps of work. Rafino is able to beat down Exy. As the ultimate percentage from Lotus does approach.
Whoa,
oh, Volbeat! Wow, with a massive concussion blast and knocked 2 off the side there. All of a sudden, that fight is evened out, and it looks like Lotus will be able to continue building up the percentage. And then if they're able to get the reinforcements back, oh, the Coalescence coming out from Hexasy, Phoenix with the Valkyrie as well. And just off the back of the concussion blast from Volbeat. And they're able to take that fight back, and they're now forcing overtime to start. Rafino comes in, uses the Death Blossom, doesn't get anything from it though. But in the meantime, there's kills going the way of both sides here. It's about a 2v3. As to say that, Volbeat, and again, Volbeat comes through with a great barrage, getting 2 kills there. Exy is rezzed in the background by Phoenix as well. So Volbeat doing some great work here to hold on to the point for Lotus, and they're able to secure that map win. Oh, sorry, secure the round win.
That entire fight was just one of the back of Volbeat. It got a combined of 4 or 5 kills in the entire fight. The first on the concussion blast came out, then the barrage came out. Just a lot of good work being done. Also, very good play from Phoenix, by the way. Got the res off, did some extra damage boosting, healed everyone up that they needed to. Still a lot of good plays being made all around. I think Cheshire Cat as well on their side did a lot of good work on the road, especially in the early parts of it. That doesn't mean there wasn't stuff happening on the other side, though. I mean, we do see Captain Sun being very good at just staying alive on the point as that Orisa. Argon being a big part in like that happened. Crunk got a very good boop off at some point. So like there's a lot happening on both sides. And I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. But for now, it does seem like the DPS matchup is slightly in the favor of Lotus.
Yeah, it definitely is. And they're sticking with Volbeat on this fast. So they'll have a big range advantage too. Nothing quite from Nebula Lynx to counter that, although they have managed to rotate all around to the back of the point on Lotus's side. We'll see what each team needs to do. They've seen if they can get Rafino there, set up on the point with those Symmetra turrets. That'll make it very difficult for Lotus to engage. As there, the capture goes the way of Nebula Lynx. No real contest there from Lotus. They content to have Volbeat raining down rockets on the side. They get the first kill finally onto Phantom. So, Abe Lincoln able to get one back onto Freckles. So now it's even, but both sides have lost the DPS. As XC comes through with 2 kills, does sacrifice themselves for that. But with the resurrection on the Freckles, Lotus has an advantage here, which they'll push onto the point with. They're able to get these kills completed. Wow, it was a very quick barrage from Volbeat. Doesn't really get much done, but just puts in enough damage. Doesn't mostly clear off the point yet. With Phantom going down, they will finally get their own progress started.
Yeah, they gave the cap over quickly, but they did the same thing last time on the previous point. They still won that out, and it's just a calculated strategy. You know, your composition takes a little bit longer to get work done. You can't do the same explosive stuff that Doomfist can do, for instance, and that's why you really want to just fire from outside the point into it and just kill them that way. And that's exactly what they did, and it worked out. So you're gonna now just spam them when they're coming in, and they're already starting to do a lot of damage. Volbeat getting up to the barrage pretty quickly again.
Yeah, and we see the Nebula Lynx are swapped to a pharmacy of their own, respecting the power of that Volbeat Phoenix combo. As the Coalescence come out from Hexasy just to keep a few members alive. Cheshire Cat opening up the kills there. Oh, a great Death Blossom from Freckles, able to take down Abe Lincoln. Sacrifices themselves in the process. but the advantage is still here as Phoenix is able to get the kill onto Rufino in the air. That Phoenix is able to kill off the entire pharmacy. Wow, great play from the Mercy on Lotus there. I like
Yeah.
that.
Phoenix has been very adamant of putting out that Battle Mercy, at least to put out the Caduceus Blaster. It's just a very nice thing to see. And they always say, you know, the more they damage boost, the more they put their blasters out, the better they are, generally speaking. A little bit of a pickle there, but just flies away. Easy Mercy dodge, of course. Freckles is going to go on another flank here. I think they know if Freckles is there and not really get close to the enemy, but has a Wraith for him to get out. Now they're going to get it with that,
Flux comes through.
Flux.
Going to be combined with the Meteor Strike here. Doesn't really get anyone. I think only captured Cheshire Cat, who was able to fortify out of it, and Volbeat able to pick off Crunk in the air, I think. So Rufino does get one back on the Freckles, with XC going down now as well. This might be the advantage that Nebula Lynx needs. They popped most of their ultimates already. The Volbeat able to finish off the rest of that pharmacy combo. The Cheshire Cat losing the supercharger and their life in the middle of that as well. It's not enough. Volbeat will come through with a great barrage there and a third kill, and they will finish off that, and they will actually just finish off the map there, just put themselves up 1-love in this series. Great map from Lotus there.
And you would have thought that last fight was kind of going in the wrong way, but the fact that Volbeat gets Crunk there, that is just everything. Because that Mercy being down means that you still have your Mercy. The res actually came in the middle of that. And then Volbeat has a little of a clearer sky to be, well, you know, do this, basically. What happened. Just goes in there, has the damage boost, has the Mercy with it. So he's in a lot safer position. It can just pull that combo off without the other Mercy and the Pharah actually being in the way. So Volbeat, once again, kind of finishes off that point in the last fight. But the biggest part of that was killing Crunk, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, you see it. I guess at the start of the map where there was the imbalance with Mercy on the side of Lotus versus no Mercy on the side of Lynx. You could definitely see that advantage. But then, I guess even once you swap to the Mercy, if the Mercy's dead, you've still got that advantage. So I'll be interested to see. So it's a great start from Lotus. They definitely, I guess, they've done some corrections in between their last match against Nebula 2 weeks ago. And they've already surpassed anything they achieved in the last match. So it looks like Lotus is actually putting themselves in a really good position. They'll have the momentum going into this next map. We'll see what they choose. Looks like they're going for Anubis.
Yeah, and Anubis is an interesting map. In Volskaya is pretty fun. I personally would prefer Volskaya in this, but the current meta really favors the way that Anubis plays. The pharmacy works out really well there, although it also can do on Volskaya. But most importantly, it's just a very good place to have a double barrier hold with. You just have that center high ground that you can just rotate through, and it just functions way better. Because if they can't run at you with Orion Zarya, if you're already on that high ground, they have a lot of a harder time just jointing you from that position. And that's exactly why Anubis is probably the wiser pick for a lot of teams right now, since they practice that. But if you're more off meta team and you like running either dive or more Reinhardt oriented compositions, you would definitely favor going Volskaya. So it does look like Lotus is a little bit more of a meta team, so to speak. That's not necessarily a judgment. That's just what it feels like. And also, Anubis has just been played a lot lately. It's just a map. You always have that in seasons and in times that one map has just played more over the other in certain map types. You know, in hybrid, it's always King's Row if it's there. In Escort, a lot of teams will go to Dorado or sometimes Gibraltar. It's one of those things. It just happens, and Anubis seems to be that map right now.
Yeah, and it also helps, I guess. Actually, no, I won't rag on the assault game type, even though I want to. Yeah, and to your point about
okay.
to your point about picking a map that sort of favors a team, I gave the little feeling that out of the two, it's a bit, while you can run Pharah on both, Volskaya is a little more Pharah friendly. It's just a bit more open. So maybe Nebula has seen what Volbeat's trying to do. They're thinking, okay, Volbeat is getting the better of us in the Pharah duel against Rufino. So we want to at least limit what options they have open to them when it comes to Pharah. It's a bit because it's a bit more enclosed. You get a bit more space to hide. also it means you've got a little less space to work with as well, and you can focus on the ground battle if you've got more ground-based DPS. So as I say, that Rafino does look like they're going to roll out on the Pharah of their own.
Yeah,
Although,
because I mean, you say it's not that Pharah friendly, but I've seen Pharah work out very well, and especially on the defense. And you can just hide behind these buildings on the side, keep spamming into the choke. It's actually a very Pharah friendly map. It's very similar to how Volskaya works. It's just you have more to hide even than on Volskaya. So I would say it might be better, but they're gonna run the Bastion on the defense with the Junkrat. It's gonna be a lot of spam. I'm curious to see if they can even get through this, because honestly, it's already hard for just like Overwatch League teams to get through this. Imagine a gold team, not wanting to any shade of gold teams, but there's a reason why they're gold. You know, it's just harder.
Yeah, I know all about it. I'm in gold myself, and yeah, you see this and go, why bother?
Yeah, I mean, you know, but it's interesting, right? Because you have to find a way to get through it. In the previous meta, when people would set this up, a lot of times teams would go to an Ana Genji because they would like, you know what, we're just gonna go for the one nano blade, they can't block it, and we just win. The teams have been so good at dealing with that, with the Baptiste, etc. They've gone through the choke now, so they're now in that side room, and this means that the Pharah has a cross angle, meaning both shields cannot be at the same angle at the same time. That means they very much weaken this defensive composition, and also means that they can break shields and actually get through it, and that's pretty good. But Abe Lincoln just gets taken out, pulled up, Phantom down as well. I'm sorry I'm taking your job here, but it's just, it just goes too fast, man.
I would have been talking for 5 seconds and thrown it back. Yeah, so just, yeah, so good guy. You're right, they did get through the choke, but a good rotation there. That's still on your drop now from Lotus. From Nebula Lynx.
It was a very good hold from Cheshire Cat. I think that was really what opened it up, because they pulled Abe Lincoln up in the air, then threw a rock at him. So the spam was just there. And when Abe Lincoln goes down, you already miss one shield. Captain Sun didn't have his yet anymore because they already used it. So then you're running one shield against no shields, and the Bastion just spams you down. So that was just a very good reaction. And Volbeat has so much spam power as well. It's actually now they go the other route. This is interesting. But are they gonna go? Are they gonna go through? Oh, I was wondering, are they gonna go through the high ground or through the room? And it does look like they wanted to go through the room, but it's not really working out.
I don't know if you want to go through the room.
Up there. They might get this pick on Exy though.
What's Exy?
I
don't know. Exy's. Oh, behind the shields. Well, you're not getting any heals there, yeah. But able to get 3 kills off. So I think Exy. I mean, you look at what Lotus has right now. They've got 6 ultimates in their bank. Exy has respawned and will come back pretty quickly. Oh, and they've got Abe Lincoln and Rafino trapped up there.
The right click of Moira. It's just too much. It's just too much. Rafino might be able to get further away. The Bastion's not set up right now. There's actually a lot happening on the other side of the map.
But it looks like Nebula Lynx is just willing to go forward for this, although they've just run straight into the tank form of Freckles. They're frozen in the middle of that, but the immortality field will keep them alive. They're able to take down Captain Sun. This will... Well, normally I'd say this is another attack stall, but the fight is still going as Rafino's getting in there now, taken down by Exy with the accretion. A coalescence comes out from Hexasy as well, just chasing down Phantom, able to hose her off. That poor May didn't really need that hosing off, already cold enough as it is. That's why she's wearing that parka. So yeah, and another attack stalled. Now only 45 seconds left in this time back for Nebula Lynx to make any progress on this point.
Yeah, it's looking rough. I mean, they can definitely still get there, and they use this wall intelligently now. They can actually get past them, I think, onto the point, because no damage is landing. Druidic Flux comes out on Abe Lincoln, but Abe Lincoln is fine. I don't think they're gonna die to that. There's a tire. This should be big.
And 2 kills off that the back of that tire. And I was gonna say, doesn't take out the supercharger, but doesn't matter. You don't need to. Freckles is there to kill off the rest of the attacking team. That's really unfortunate, but that's what it is. As we see the quick swaps coming through now, we'll see if they can make any progress here. As it looks like Captain Sun will be able to touch the point as long as they can stay alive to get to that. Oh, Freckles gets caught in the gravitic flux. Abe Lincoln goes really hard on her, but not able to. I say kept alive by the great invulnerability field from Phoenix.
They're getting them.
Coming through with a Death Blossom as well onto the invulnerability field. Also able to take down Freckles in the middle of that. This is the start. This is what Nebula Lynx needed. They do lose Phantom here. Cheshire Cat and Hex Easy just fighting out the point here. Volbeat's come back to the fight as well. Throws into that concussion mine. Able to take down Rafino. Coalescence coming out here from Hexasy as well. Another tire initiated from Volbeat as well. Oh,
They left the points. Yeah.
Pushes the members of Nebula Lynx off. And that's a solid, almost a full hold. They did actually end up getting 40% in the middle of that. So not totally lost. They still have a win condition available to them. Do Nebula Lynx.
I mean, and once again, this is really where that lack of target focus or that lack of focused fire, just the main instinct of a gamer comes in sometimes, where they just see an Orisa and a Junkrat and a Moira in a corner, and they're not quite sure how to attack it as a unit. They could either all run through the shield, attack them at once, or they could all focus the same target, either shield the Orisa or the Moira. And you just see the split attention. You see that they're all trying to shoot something different. And I'm not saying they're not trying to communicate. Obviously, they are. I mean, I trust they are. But the communication just didn't quite end up at the same place. So I don't know if maybe their comm leader was dead. So normally they have one person calling the shots, and then there were just 4 on the point that weren't that person. But you saw something happening there where Hexasy just got way too much done. Volbeat, like you said, just got another tire up. Cheshire Cat just was never really in any danger of dying in any way. So that is just a little bit of a problem. But then again, we look at this, we see that we're gonna have Nebula just do the same thing on the defense that just happened to them. They're only gonna use the Farah Mercy, not the Junkrat and not the Moira next to the Beast.
But at least they're keeping the Baptiste.
But they keep they keep the Baptiste, they keep the Bastion, the Bastion as people call it, and the double shield. So it's still going to be hard to get through, and I'm not sure whether Lotus will have a different approach, because eventually they have to switch up the pharmacy on the attack now and go to the Moira and the May.
It's alright. If it gives Nebula Lynx a fighting chance and tightens up this game, I'm all for it. Oh, that's a very quick death from Cheshire Cat, though. I guess Rafino doing as Bastion does and holding left click.
I think that's the same thing that happened on the other side. The Captain Sin went down the first time as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So Lotus just here waiting for them to regroup. Because they will make this progress in. Oh, they're trying to get in now. Halted just out the doorway, but they will get in.
Well, they do get in. Yeah, but now the same thing is going to happen, right? Now we're going to look at that. They're not all in there. The pharmacy is still the choke. It's the exact same situation we had last time. And now we can see the Hulk coming in straight away. Xe is just a bit too far. Ecstasy already down. They're doing a good job of trying this, and Volbeat is getting an angle on the other side, but it's just Volbeat and Phoenix left, so you're not really going to get any kills out of that. They are still trying, though, and that's always good.
Oh, okay. Volbeat not able to get out with their life. They've got the barrage there. I guess they have I'll say they have a small opportunity to use it, but then do you really want to sit still in front of Rafino here?
No, you don't.
Okay, as Lotus comes in now, they choose to take the other side. The amplification matrix comes out. Actually, it's a smart. Oh, there you go. The barrage comes down from Phantom, able to clean up Freckles there. Now Lotus is split up, and they will see if XC can make their way out. No, they got burnt down. Killed by a rock to the face. Good work there, Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. I find it interesting that Nebula is a little bit more frivolous with their ult usage. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because I do get value out of them. But I do think, for instance, the application matrix got essentially no value. So I don't know. I mean, it's a hard ultimate to use. I get that. But that's just a bit of a shame. And they used the barrage there, nothing else. So they still have a lot of upcoming. But they're not going to charge up to those 6 ultimates that you saw on the previous defense. They're now going to come in with 3 of their own, maybe 4 if Xe can get there quickly, but I doubt it.
Ooh, good halt there. Oh, Cheshire Cat dropping really low. Phoenix actually choosing to use the Valkyrie now to keep the team alive, pushing through this small choke point as the barrage comes in from Volbeat over the top. Takes down Rafino in the middle of that tank form ultimate. This is what Lotus needed. Cheshire Cat getting their counterpart in Sun down on the Orisa as well. The res does come through onto Rafino, but there's some more kills coming through for Lotus. They're able to actually push on the point and start getting that capture progress. Oh, it's a sore sight there for Nebula Lynx. They're cleaned up. Lotus will, off the back of that great play there from Volbeat, will take Anubis and put themselves up 2-0 in this series going into half-time.
Yeah, and I will say they gave Volbeat a little bit too much freedom to just walk in there. Like Volby definitely spent a good 5 or 6 seconds getting into position for that barrage, and no one really turned around for it outside of Phantom. Yeah, Phantom, because they were in the sky on the Pharah. So I would have said that if you would have done that properly, you would have probably have had Rafino just turn around to the Pharah, and then Phantom could just pelt the choke a little bit, because it just didn't really work out for them this way. But you know what? It means we're in a 2-0 situation here for Lotus, and they deserve it. They have been the better team so far.
They have indeed. So as we go into halftime, we'll see what Nebula Lynx. I guess we'll see what the locker room. We won't hear it. We hope there's a good locker room talk though. They're able to come out swinging in the second half. It'll be interesting to see, especially considering, as we mentioned before, this is the big reversal from the last time they played. We'll touch on that after halftime. And it looks like they're already selecting a map. And I think they want to just go, but we will stop for 5 minutes. My voice needs a rest. So, so we'll be back. It's 2-0 at the moment between Lotus and Nebula Lynx in the favor of Lotus. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
And a sneaky hammer down from Raven. A very risky.
Blue goes down, the shatter falls from Paragon, the Blizzard will follow it up. I don't think anyone's getting out alive over here. Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Needs to go see a chiropractor. The straw that broke the camel's back seems to be blue, just finally matching his DPS on the other side of the screen and dragging it.
Never reminded, never taking whatever you told me. I know what I could be. Making a motion pentacle answer. Tell me, is this what you made me?
Walk through that bunker comp, it really kind of prevents you from getting some picks here. Of course, Vivek's doing a lot of work here, taking down both Snee and Raccoon in the air, and then of course getting a flashbang kill onto Ozymandias as they just roll right through Dark Allegiance. So, of course, all of my analysis was
Still looking for the sextuple. Not going to be able to get it, unfortunately. But Team Kill still going to ring out loud and proud as RGH takes down.
Welcome back to the Rose Cup. We're here for this gold division match between Lotus and Nebula Lynx. In the first half, we saw Lotus come out very strong, put themselves up 2-love in this series. I'm still Temporal. Man of Class is still Man of Class. And before we get back into it, I just want to remind everyone that if you are looking for Overwatch coaching or just want a side-by-side session with those that serve the US of A, the Rose Cup is now teamed up with the US Army Esports organization. So when you've got, if you've got 6 players, they complete the free registration with the USAE. One of the Grandmaster, I think it's GM Army teams will schedule a time to meet and work with your players for teams up to and including the 3500 SR ranking. If you want more information, DM usae.fluty on Discord to get signed up. Anyway, as we jump back into the match, Man of Class, what do you want to see from Nebula in this second half?
I want to see them win. No, I don't know. It's it's been a bit. The thing is, right? So I've been hyping up Volbeat a little bit because Volbeat has just done a lot of work on the Pharah, on the Junkrat as well, to be honest. But there's more going on in Lotus that is making them work very well. Cheshire Cat is getting some very good pulls off on the Orisa. Xe then follows it well with the rocks as well. Like it's not just that Volbeat is getting kills. Phoenix is also helping Volbeat out in the support, obviously. Hexasy doing a lot of Moira work. Freckles is also in there doing a lot of DPS stuff. Like it's not just the one, but it's just that Volbeat ends up in the kill feed and ends up making heads up plays. And if they wanna, if Nebula Lynx wants to win more fights or at least not lose fights, they need to either zone or kill Volbeat a little bit better, because that's mostly been their problem. They've been holding up fairly well in the 5v5 or 4v4 fights if it's a pharmacy situation. But then Volbeat finds an angle and they're not dealing with Volbeat at that point, and that is where they lose it a lot of the time. So now going into Numbani, which is also, again, a pretty good Pharah map, and a good Bastion map, it could very well lead to the same thing that we've seen before. The only good thing about it is that it's not as multi-angle of a map as it was before. So before on Anubis, you could have everyone come through the room and then shoot at the fire, shoot from the middle and come behind them. It's not that easy to do on this map. So Lotus, I'm expecting they're going to set up with the Bastion strat again, which you're going to have to break if you are Nebula, but it's going to be interesting to see if they might actually attack this with Bastion of their own, which is a strategy we have seen before.
Yeah, we do see a lot of double Bastion on this map. Just trying to think. Last time they went Lotus chosen and Barney. I'm pretty sure it was this match that I was watching that we saw both teams use the Bastion defense, but Nebula Lynx was actually the team that came out with the Pharah on attack as well. They're able to get a great pincer movement there and storm through point A.
Yeah.
That looks like both teams have learnt from that. Interestingly, though, we're seeing Hexasy. Yeah, we're seeing Hexasy starting on the Moira here instead of the typical Baptiste you see in a bunker strat. It was interesting to see how that plays out, given that Argon is actually playing on Baptiste. It's the only difference between the two compositions. As Phoenix goes very low very quickly. That was a long rocket.
But I'm not thinking that Baptiste could really be a problem for them, because it means they have not as much of a staying power as the other team does. You see the rockets come in on both sides, but takes on Freckles because they don't have it, and now they need to get the res off, which they can't. Ecstasy down. This is over. The good take.
At least Volbeat gets something back, gets the immortality field, I guess.
Yeah, that's
who
a good
knows?
pick.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a blindingly fast take from Nebula Lynx. Wow, no defense for that whatsoever.
I'm gonna be sarcastic about it, but that immortality field was probably the biggest pick they could have had. No, yeah, good take. But I mean, you see it happening straight away, right? You just have two shields against each other, but then they have the Baptiste, so all they can do is just put up that the immortality field, and no amount of Moira healing can just sustain through that. You need more bursts, you need more anything, and you need that immortality field or a May wall or something else that helps you win. And they just didn't have it, and they still don't have it. So that just means that this payload bastion is going to steam on through, and I don't see any way out of this for Lotus.
Well, the pirate ship is certainly in full force here. Volbeat finally gets the first kill for the defending team onto Crunk. Exit takes down Phantom as well, so that's the pharmacy out of the way. But Abe Lincoln, there you go, the kill's coming through. Rufino now just mowing down the other members of Lotus as well. This ship is showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, and it's very simple. They switched off the bastion, or the bastion died straight away, so they don't have enough damage to keep sustaining it. You can have as much healing as you want. You won't sustain through that bastion healing, especially since they still have Argon on. They can even start using this amplification matrix now, and there's nothing they can use in the defense. They might have gravitic flux soon, but Xe still needs to get into a position to get it off, and then also get it off without the immortality field saving anyone.
A great accretion onto Captain Sun there. Great accretion onto Xe there. Sees them finish off straight away. That's a tank and a healer, tank and a support down for Lotus as well. See I guess the Arista shield looks like a giant sail full of wind. The ship is just powering through the map, showing no signs of stopping. The gravitic flux comes through from Abe Lincoln as well as a wealth of ultimates available. See Hexazy coming, both the support ultimates coming out from Lotus as well as the gravitic flux, but it doesn't matter. Rufino with a tank form, the barrage coming out from Phantom. That was a blindingly fast Numbani attack. 520 time bag.
But I mean, through that last point as well, right? They immediately lose Xe and Hextasy. Then you have your 2 DPS on the high ground in Freckles and Volbeat. They were just somewhere in the high ground as May and Reaper trying to flank or something. But that was not in the flank anymore. The enemy knew where they were, so you just saw Phantom zoning them out. And Rufino was still on the card. Eventually used a tank form to take them out on the other side. There was just nothing they could do. They had to keep on switching heroes. They still didn't have the support lineup that they really needed to do anything about it. And the DPS lineup wasn't able to get into the right position ever. So, like you said, it was just a steamroll, just a blazingly fast time. And kind of all of that is just off the back of not having a Baptiste for that first point defense. And it sounds very weird that one hero picking matter that much, but it does matter that much if the other team does run it and they essentially mirror what you're doing. So I don't know if they're going to change anything up on their attack. It doesn't look like they're going to go for the Bastion of their own, but they could still switch. Defense, though, they're just using the exact same composition they used on attack. It's just a Numbani special. I think that's what we can kind of call it by now.
But I'm wondering, sorry, I'm wondering from Hexasy's, just looking through Hexasy's stats, I'm wondering if they play much Baptiste. Doesn't appear they do. So I'm wondering if
that might be the hole in their team right now. That after this match, they might say, you know what, Hexasy, kind of gonna have to now because we just got bopped. Or Phoenix could play it and Hexasy could play Mercy, but Phoenix has been showing up so well on Mercy that they might just not want to take that risk. Once again, they're gonna have to break this Bastion comp. They did it on Anubis, but this is not Anubis. A very different map, very different situation. Like I said before, that pincer move is not as easy to pull off here because it's a way more open space. And
they are running the same comp. They're running that May, which is what eventually did it for them. We'll see if they can get a good wall out from Volbeat, though, with Cheshire and Hexasy going down straight away. Rufino not showing any mercy in that robot heart.
I mean, they're 2-0 down. They can't show any mercy right now. Kind of need to, but yeah. Last time they broke it, right? Last time they broke this Bastion defense of Anubis, they used the pharmacy themselves. So they had Volbeat come in from an off angle, use the barrage, and open everything up. But they can't do that this time, or at least they're not doing it this time. Don't know if they can't, but it's going to be harder to do this time. And they're already a minute down, giving up some ult charge.
That's a big rotation here, coming around the back, choosing to take the fight into this tiny little corridor. Phantom comes around from the back, knocks Volbeat off the side, gets Hexasy down as well. What a flank.
No, Freckles makes it out, almost get pooped off, but using the but it's 4 in the room there. They're gonna get.
And then they're stuck.
Yeah. And the other 2 are still coming back from the spawn. Okay.
No sneaky flank for you. Looks like Phoenix actually get out with their life. Okay.
It's a Lucio. Lucio gets out alive. It's sort of an unwritten rule at this point. I'm not surprised at all. But I don't know. Are they gonna switch anything up? They have 2 minutes 20. They didn't switch up the stuff fast enough on their defense last time.
Yeah,
Gonna
Volbeat
go
going
for
across the Junkrat.
Okay, so they're going for the ultra spam. They just don't want there to be any barriers left. But Volbeat's gonna have to get into position. Last time they all got into that room, but then Volbeat got booped off the map. What's gonna
So
happen
they
here?
ground Farah, land Farah, whatever you want to call Junkrat.
The spam rats.
I'll just call him Australian Farah. Anyway, Phantom gets another pick on the Hexas. Both supports down now for Lotus. Again, they are making a little tiny bit of progress on the point because no one from Nebula Lynx is there to contest. But with Captain Sun dropping down, Phantom will continue cleaning up the members of Lotus here. This is a really good turnaround for Nebula Lynx. They're absolutely dominating this map.
And for me, it's really that question mark, right? Not only on the defense, but also on this attack right now. That just the hero choices, the way they choose to attack it's all a big question mark for me. And I'm sure they have not practiced this map. Like I'm pretty sure they know how this map works to a degree, but it's just it's either just not their day, or they have the wrong plan for this. Like they planned for this, but then this plan that they have is not working, or there's something going on here, and they're gonna get a point this time around. But I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
Oh, a great accretion onto Phantom there. We'll stop the damage coming in a little bit. The Freckles goes down. The Gravitic Flux comes out from Abe Lincoln. Oh, it's able to kill like two actually. The tank form coming out from Rufino as well. The amplification matrix there, just allowing a lot of healing to come through from Argon. Yeah. Noble gas right there.
It was amazing. I mean, Phantom got stunned out of the barrage. And it would have been a great play by the side of Xe had it not been for the other 3 or 4 ultimates that were online for the defense. And now they will still have the damage boost of the supercharger, and they'll have another damage boost potentially from Mercy up front. So there's going to be a lot of damage coming out from this Bastion.
Oh, wow. This team's going low. The sound barrier coming out from Phoenix. The only thing keeping the Lotus alive here to even make it to the point. Volbeat taking down the supercharger with Captain Sun straight away. The Valkyrie coming out from Crot. That's all the ultimates expended from Nebula. Freckles goes down as well. A couple of ultimates come out from Lotus to unfortunately Freckles the only one with one left. Yeah, Phantom and Rufino going down in after a great barrage of Phantom, but doesn't matter. Nebula Lynx will easily take Nambani here and bring themselves back into this series.
Yeah, I was really hoping, that we would see something like this where they just turn it back around, and they do. They finally get the map choice that they're more comfortable with, it seems, and they just make it happen. The attack was basically flawless. I don't think you could have really done that much quicker. And then the defense, they didn't give up even a tick, so also pretty good job there. I will say a little bit is also off the back of Lotus just not approaching that map as well as they maybe could have, meta-wise and substance-wise. But that doesn't mean that they don't deserve the win, obviously. Like, they did still play it well. They exploited the weaknesses properly, and they understood their win condition, and they exploited it well. They used the win condition pretty well, I would say. So, we're going to go to map 4, still wondering if we're going to go to a map 5, which is always a good thing. And it's possible now. We've seen both teams take very commanding wins of maps. The first map was a little bit more of a struggle. It was a little bit more close. The other two were pretty one-sided for either team. And now we're going to go to map 4, which is Escort, looking to be another potential Bastion map and a potential Bastion Farah map as well.
It looks like the Freckles. Lotus is choosing Rialto.
Yep. Good Farah map. Bastion
Good
map.
Farah map,
It's a
good
payload. It's the one map where you can actually have a pirate ship by putting it on the boats. It doesn't actually have a gameplay advantage in any situation, as far as I'm aware, but you can do it. So this is the true map of the high seas, if you want to call the channels in Rialto actually proper.
Well, maybe what Blizzard should do is they should introduce a map with just ankle deep or knee deep water,
Look,
and then the payload can be a boat, so we can properly do pirate ship.
Look, the only thing I really want is for Blizzard to start doing like proper skin themes. So when they add new skins, they just add like everyone gets a pirate skin, or everyone gets a transformer skin, or something like that. Because then you can set up a proper pirate ship. Baptiste has a pirate skin, Ana has a pirate skin, Torbjorn has a
Roadhog has
pirate
one.
skin. Roadhog has one. But why doesn't Orisa have one? Why doesn't Bastion have one? You could have the proper parrot, with Bastion on the cart. Ganymede is a parrot. Would be amazing. But unfortunately, it's not going to be as easy as we want it to be. Going to Rialto. I don't know. Once again, I don't know where this is gonna go because Volbeat has been a pretty good Pharah, but they didn't play Pharah on that map. I think maybe on point 1 defense at some point. And their Bastion gambits didn't really work out that well on Numbani. Now, that doesn't mean that they cannot work out very well on Rialto, but if you're going to look at the map comparisons, I do think Rialto is more like Numbani than it is like Anubis. So that would give the advantage to Nebula. But once again, it's unpredictable what these teams are going to do. If they play both to their strengths, this could still go Lotus's way. If they do the same thing they did on Numbani, it should go Nebula Lynx's way. But I don't know. Maybe they have some interesting thing prepared that we don't know about. Maybe we see some hit scan come out, like a Widowmaker. Maybe see a Hanzo.
Maybe there's a full dive composition coming out.
You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if it did, but I do think that that's not going to happen because dive was always most effective on the highest tiers where everyone had the perfect combination of mechanical skill to pull that off. And the concept of dive is also very outdated in the way Overwatch works right now. So even if they want to and they're going to pull it out, which, it's possible, I don't think that would ever be successful in this game. So that's why I'm doubting it will happen because I don't know how good their coaches are, but they're aware of that or not. I would hope they are. But you know what? If we see it, I'm still going to be happy that we see it.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw one. I think I casted a couple of weeks ago, and with both teams, we went to Havana, which is not the map we're obviously playing, but both teams did actually end up playing dive.
Yeah, was it by any chance already a 3-0 for one of the teams?
It may have been.
Yeah, because that's what we see it happen more often, right? When we go to the last map where teams are just like, you know what, we're going to play what we want to play rather than what we sort of have to play to win. Because if it's already a 3-0, you can't win or lose the series anymore. Like, that's already been established. It's already been decided. So at that point, both teams are just like, you know what? We're just going to go. We're going to do this. Gonna play whatever we want. We see the Genjis, the Widowmakers, the Tracers. We see the Winstons, the Wrecking Balls. We see a lot of things come out on those maps, on those map 4s that don't really matter. But this one still matters. It's still that you have to win it if you want to win or extend the series if you're either team. So it's not over. So I doubt that's why I also doubt that we're gonna see something divey. Then again, the teams are always there to surprise me. So I would like it.
Yes, indeed. So we've still got a few moments to see what before we see what each team wants to come out on. As we see this giant, what the hell? Oh, it's cleaning the building. I'm just flying around looking at what's going on this map. So we will see.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all right.
I was wanted to say, if someone ever spectates a game, there's something interesting you can do. Not a lot of people know this. If you press Ctrl-I, you can actually get the player icons of the team, and you can go outside of the bounds of the map, so you can actually fly through structures and everything. So if you're ever spectating a game, might be something fun to do. Get a fun new perspective, fun new lease on life. If it replays, it works as well. But yeah, we do see this Bastion defense. It's back. It's a thing. It's exciting. It's not new, but it's exciting still. But we see the same thing on the other side. They are actually going to be running the Baptiste and the Mercy on both sides. It's just a mirror match, and that's going to be interesting because this card could be a blessing or a thorn in the side of the attackers.
And we see Phoenix and Hexasy have sort of swapped roles here in order to achieve this Baptiste. This Volbeat opens up with a concussion blast onto Abe Lincoln. The Rafino is just showing off that they're the better Bastion for the moment. The Volbeat, again, coming up in the kill feed. Freckles is resurrected. So while the car is pushing forward, a big advantage for Lotus when it comes to numbers. They are falling back a little bit, choosing not to contest the car. Just, I guess, waiting for the cart to get a little bit further along where it's easier to defend. Volbeat gets the better of Phantom in that pharmacy duel as well. And another concussion blast onto Abe Link from Volbeat.
Yeah.
Wow. a
Last
great
time it was
start
set up
there.
by an accretion. So the first time around, XC threw an accretion at Abe Lincoln, and Abe Lincoln got thrown off the map afterwards.
Ah.
But this time it was just a clean boop there from Volbeat. Oh, that's a good pick.
Oh,
Anna.
Rufino, anti-air duties. Will that
nice
resurrection
move.
come through? No. The application
cancelled.
matrix comes out from Phoenix though, just to put a little more pressure on. But Rufino is able to get the kill onto Freckles there. And actually, interestingly, Nebula Lynx choosing to hold on to their ultimates at the moment. Well, as I say that, oh, the amplification matrix goes up on the cart, moves along. Oh, and a great barrage from Phantom as well. Able to take down 3.
Distraction.
Yeah, it looks like Nebula Lynx will be able to push this through. And I don't know if Volbeat's going to come and try and contest. So no one else is going to be able to get there. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like they will just give up point A here. So great combination of ultimates there from Nebula, enabling them to capture point A.
It does look right now like they're just going to be able to get through here and keep on going. They tried to do something with the hulks and the accretion, but Phantom just flies away as they should. It was interesting though in that last fight because they used their amplification matrix on the defense, and then Nebula Lynx just backed off and focused on the far instead and the Mercy, and they just got away with that. And then the amplification matrix on the attack was just way more interesting, and way more effective, which is why the attack it will always be more effective on the attack. Because you can choose your angles way better, and the other team can really run away from it.
Yeah, as the gravitic flux comes through from XC there, lifts a few members up, but doesn't really pay anything out from it. After a couple of inanimate objects going down, a couple of kills coming through for Lotus here. Rufino is able to get one back onto XC. The barrage comes in from Volbeat, able to take the Rufino, but killed in turn by Phantom. Freckles then kills up Phantom. That shotgun's doing a lot of work at an airborne type, which is pretty good. Oh, Captain Sun is a bit stuck here. Will they get out? No, they won't get out with their life. Freckles able to hunt that one down.
The shotguns of death will definitely be coming there from Captain Sun. It does look like a good situation for the defense, you would think. But then again, they had to swap off their Bastion. They're now on the Reaper, who almost has the ult. There's quite a few ultimates there on the attack. Argon will almost have that implication matrix as well, which means they could do a lot of damage with that if the defenders choose to ult too aggressively. Right now, though, they're just approaching slowly, approaching cautiously, having Phantom do some poke damage from the sky. It does look they're going to be in a position to start attacking pretty soon. Rufino got closer and closer, and now they're in position for Rufino setup.
Oh, Freckles looking for that Death Blossom. The exit goes down to Rufino. It looks... Freckles has been spotted out as well. Perhaps not wanting to go in with that play disadvantage. Hexazy able to get the res off in the middle of that, though. And, Crunk going down as well from Volbeat. This has put the fight advantage back into the favor of Lotus a little bit. Rufino going down as well. That's a lot of the DPS gone. Death Blossom finally comes out from Freckles. And off the back of that, Lotus is able to clean up that fight and push back Nebula Lynx yet again.
There's a few small things that definitely happened there. Freckles took a little bit long on the flank. We saw it happen on the Paul as well. If Freckles goes on the flank, it's either it just takes too long or they spot him out. It's just Freckles. You can't really keep doing that. You spot them. You keep being spotted out. And the other thing that was happening is you saw that they weren't quite used to the new shield positioning on Nebula Lynx's side. Not that the position, like the position is the same. Rufino can't get back up. He's got booped off, and it's just a shame. But yeah, like the main problem is that since the shields take longer to deploy, or just take longer before they're on cooldown, the reposition of the Bastion of Rufino was a little bit too early in that fight previously. Captain Sun's on the high ground now. Phoenix next to them. They'll be able to get out. Fulby takes out Argon though. It's a good start. The poke is just going to keep coming out from both sides right now. It's just Phantom all the way. Oh no, it's going to be Volby trying to get the barrage. We'll get taken down by Rufino, but now we see Crunk also going down, even though the res just doesn't come in, and the kills are overwhelmingly in Lotus's favor. Abe Lincoln will probably just go off the map and die here. Yep, in the canals of Venice. Will not even be able to cleanse their sins off themselves with that water. And next fight, either they're gonna have to try and do something because they only have a minute left. They were started really out really well on their attack, but now they're in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Crunk wanted to use that. Sorry, I'm not sure Crunk wanted to use that Valkyrie at the start there. They have sort of given them a an ultimate advantage over to the side of Lotus. They've allowed them to build up their own ultimates. They didn't have to invest many in that fight as Fino goes down straight away. Oh, Phantom comes in with a barrage, shut down instantly by Volbeat after getting the kill on Exi. Gravitic Flux comes through somewhere but doesn't really get anything. Exi being res there, well, Lotus is back in control of this fight. A lot of ultimates thrown out there from Nebula Lynx, but not really getting anything done. Amplification Matrix from Phoenix, just enough to clean up this fight. Has Nebula Lynx down to 15 seconds. Will they be even able to touch this cart?
I mean, it doesn't look like it at this point. They just have Captain Soon doesn't even get close. They're gonna try to get there with the ball. The breaking ball does touch. Meanwhile, they've lost Phantom already as well. Captain Soon does get res, but Rufino goes down.
Oh, a
Right
barrage.
there.
Nice.
Yeah, they're gonna get zoned out here. It's not gonna be any contest coming in anymore. This is just gonna be where the cart stops. It got a little bit further than this. Got around that corner of the Cala Tintoretto, but yeah, this is not that much for. So almost to the second checkpoint. They got quite far with that, I would say.
Yeah, though unfortunately for Nebula, they threw in all those ultimates at the start of that last fight and weren't able to get much done. And once that happened, Lotus had held on to theirs, able to throw in the Valkyrie, able to throw in the barrage. They had the Death Blossom in reserve as well, so there's not much that Nebula could do once their ultimates didn't get anything done. But still, a decent effort. We do see some full holds here on Rialto on point A, particularly when you get the cart to the very end. If the defending team is able to stop you there, it can be very difficult to re-attack. You're walking through just a gauntlet of fire. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what Nebula can do on their own defense here. If they're able to pull off a successful defense, they will push us to a map 5. We'll get to see this match play out. Of course, Lotus, with everything to play for here, all they need to do is push 1.5 points, and they will take the match right here on Rialto.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fabulous hold. Obviously, point A is a point that gets full held quite often. It's not unheard of. Point B is also pretty hard to take. They got it quite far on point B as well, so it's definitely possible they hold this. And yeah, the question is, once again, map 5, yes or no? And I like answering this question with just more Overwatch. That's all we need. It's another round of Overwatch. It's going to be another mirror match situation, almost. It's actually going to be, once again, Freckles on the Reaper, not on the Bastion attack this time.
Interesting choice. I know maybe they feel it didn't work so much on their defense. But of course, I guess attacking, you can chuck Bastion on the payload, get the little passive healing. That's an interesting decision. Oh, and choosing not to run the Baptiste as well. They've swapped their Mora and Mercy over, but chosen. Yeah, they've swapped the players around, but the roles around. Anyway, sorry. Volbeat able to open up the kills there onto Abe. Getting a lot out there from the rest of their team. Oh, and a lot of Nebula going low. Phoenix able to finish off the kill onto Phantom. The Immortality field goes out, but is taken down very quickly by Ecstasy of all people. Volbeat and Phoenix also falling through. So, wow, the support showing up there in the kill feed a little bit for Lotus. As they're able to push through, they're going to approach the end of point A here. It looks like Nebula will, though, get a chance to re-attack the cart. Or maybe they're not choosing to.
No, they will. They will definitely try to do this. Get
just waiting.
Time it anyway. There we go.
Rufino jumps in straight away and goes down. So now a play disadvantage straight away to Nebula. Although Volbeat finally taken out of the sky by Phantom. The res doesn't come through.
No, it's denied. It's denied very well as well.
But there's still a good defensive push here from. They lose Argon in the process with that. Oh, that amplification matrix being taken out of the fight as well. Crunk is forced to pop Valkyrie. Hexasy does so in kind. The barrage coming through from Phantom, able to pick up 2. As the kills going actually on both sides. Argon gets back, throws in the amplification matrix and the immortality field. The gravitic flux comes through from Exa here. Oh, pops. Crunk very low, not able to get with Volbeat, able to take them down with the barrage. And off the back of that, there's just a couple of members of the defending team here. Yeah, Phantom's taken down. Soon will be taken down in short order. That's point A.
Fight time there, die on the card. You know, that fight was over after Gravitic Flux hit because it just did too much burst damage, and Argon didn't have the Immortality field left. But Argon did so much healing there. Like Phoenix going down, actually I thought that fight's gonna go to them, but then the Gravitic Flux came out from Xe, and that kind of ends everything there. Gonna have Rufino continue to be on the Doomfist here, which is an interesting pick considering what's been happening this round. We haven't seen the Doomfist just yet, and I like it. I like the pick.
Yeah, should be very good against the Reaper. Might be a bit hard to take on the but good against the Reaper and the Moira on the ground. As we see the supercharger invested by Sun there, it's taken down instantly by the barrage from Freckles. Takes down Phantom and Rufino. Kills coming through for Lotus here. The res from Crunk getting Phantom, but other than that, not much. As the cart's pushing really, really quickly towards that yellow box of victory. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. We'll see if Nebula Lynx can get back. Rufino jumps in, contests, uses Meteor Strike actually to survive there. A few quick heroes, other quick heroes coming through. The Rufino taking that straight away. The Gravitic Flux invested from Abe Lincoln there. Not really getting much done. So Phoenix getting actually able to take down Abe Lincoln. Opens up the Coalescence as well. Hits Crunk. Phantom taken out of the sky. Volbeat's on fire. Lotus will push through. They will capture the point, win Rialto, and win the match. Great play from Lotus there.
Yeah, they got that definitely done. Just the over-aggression, especially of Volbeat just going forward and forward and forward. Never really let them get a chance to set up. Never let them settle. And that's just what a good team can do. Just keep going forward. Keep snowballing it. It was, yeah, there's also under attack. Just keep going forward. And you don't have to flank if there's no flank to go on. You can just keep going forward. And that's when the Freckles Reaper did shine. So good to see that had a purpose and actually worked. Yeah, good on Lotus. They turn it around. The 3-1 still. It's they turn around from the last time. I mostly mean because last time they didn't actually come out with a win. This time they do, and yeah, good on them. 3-1.
See, yeah, I agree. That's fantastic work, and that's going to make the this gold division really interesting. So actually, no. Before we get into that, who would you say is your player of the match?
It's a hard one to pick, right? Because we've been calling out Volbeat's name all evening, and for good reason. Got a lot of also vanilla picks, not just with the barrages and not just with it was just good positioning a lot of the time. I do still want to go with Volbeat, but definitely want to also mention Cheshire Cat because they've been putting up a lot of good work on that Orisa. So I definitely want to give that an honorable mention there.
Yes, and great, especially some great use of the halting and whatnot from Cheshire Cat. Able to set up a lot of kills there. We saw a lot of enemies being pulled into other characters. I'd also like to give a shout out to Phoenix as well. A really good job. We saw the Battle Mercy come out in Nepal. We do, and they did a really good job after the roles were swapped for the supports as well on the Baptiste, on the Moira. It's a really good work there as well. I guess to go back to what it means for the gold division, going into this, they were Nebula Lynx is second in the division. They'll still stay there. Lotus was number 4, but I believe this will push them up to 3rd, and it's going to be really tight for those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spots. And given that we're coming into the end of the season, we're coming to the playoffs. They're only 2-3 weeks away. This is good momentum for Lotus coming in. They're going to finish in the top half. They should make it to the playoffs. So this is they're going to be a real confidence boost for them. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do going forward.
And that's always the case. There's always more Rose Cup until the season's over, and it's not over by a long shot, people. We do still have a long time to go, even though the regular season might be coming to a sort of a close. We're going to have a long playoff run as well, so we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Of course, there will be plenty of more to come, but for this night, we are unfortunately done, which is always a shame to say that we're going to have to say goodbye to you, but it's what happens, Temporal. That's just where we're at.
Yep. I think I'm still yet to cast 3-2. But I'm looking forward to the day it finally
You're not
happens.
the only one, man. You're not the only one. Map 5s are very rare in the Rose Cup as a rule. But that's not a problem. I mean, that's just also sometimes the nature of how Overwatch works. So just because it's not a 3-2 doesn't mean it's not a close series. That being said, we hope we see close series keep coming because that means it's good Overwatch. Also, you know what I also want to keep seeing? I want to keep seeing people pull out interesting strats. I mean, I do think we saw some interesting stuff coming out tonight, even though it was a gold game. It still shows that some other stuff can work than just the meta. And yeah, with that being said, I do think we're gonna call it a night here. So I'll see you guys next time. Temporal, thank you for being here with us. Night of Need behind the production. I'm a man of class. Have a good night, everyone.